The official story is simple. El Chapo was a drug lord. He was caught, put in prison, and justice was served. But behind that clean, comfortable story is a much darker truth. A truth involving government corruption, the highest levels, secret deals made in the shadows, and a system that protected one of the most dangerous criminals in history. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is documented fact. And today, we're reopening the vault on the secrets the US government tried very hard to make sure you never found out. Let's start with the government informant nobody talks about. 4 years before El Chapo was finally extradited, there were credible reports from insiders that he was operating as a protected government informant. In exchange for intelligence on rival cartels, the Sinaloa cartel was allegedly given a level of protection that allowed it to operate with minimal interference. A landmark court case in Chicago saw a former cartel lawyer testify that US agents had a secret deal with the cartel. The D denied everything, but the testimony was entered into official court records. It can't be erased. Then there was Operation Fast and Furious. In 2006, the US government launched this secret operation, officially to track illegal weapons being smuggled into Mexico. What actually happened was catastrophic. Over 2,000 firearms were deliberately allowed to cross the border, and the US government lost track of almost all of them. These weapons ended up directly in the hands of the Sinaloa cartel. Guns that were supposed to be tracked were used in murders. When a US border agent named Brian Terry was killed with one of those weapons in 2010, the entire operation was exposed. Congressional investigations followed, but the full truth of who authorized it has never been revealed. During El Chapo's trial, a former senior member of his cartel made a statement so explosive it should have been front-page news everywhere. He testified under oath that El Chapo had personally paid former Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto a bribe of $100 million. The Mexican government called it a lie, but remember, El Chapo was captured in 2014, then inexplicably escaped from Mexico's most secure prison in 2015, only to be captured again in 2016. A man that powerful doesn't just walk out of prison without help from the very top. Multiple former D agents have gone on record stating that the US intelligence community had precise knowledge of El Chapo's location on many occasions while he was a fugitive. Satellite surveillance, human intelligence, phone intercepts all pointing to exactly where he was. So why did it take so long? A former D agent who spent years hunting El Chapo said that political interference from the Mexican government repeatedly stopped operations from moving forward. Every time a raid was planned, information was leaked to El Chapo's people, with the leaks coming from inside the government being paid by the cartel. El Chapo's trial in New York was one of the most significant of the 21st century, yet enormous amounts of potential evidence were ruled inadmissible or just never presented. His defense team argued that key witnesses with explosive information about US government involvement were blocked from testifying. Documents that could have revealed the full extent of corruption were classified. The judge placed strict limits on what could be discussed in open court. El Chapo was convicted, but the full story of who protected him was carefully kept out of the public record. After his conviction, El Chapo was sent to ADX Florence in Colorado, the most secure prison in the United States. He's held in solitary confinement 23 hours a day, with virtually no contact with the outside world. His wife has publicly stated that El Chapo has information names, dates, transactions that would destroy careers and governments if it ever became public. He has been so completely isolated that the information he carried may never see the light of day. The most dangerous thing about El Chapo was never his product. It was what he knew. The US government put El Chapo in a cell, classified the evidence, silenced the witnesses, and buried the documents. Because the truth was never just about one drug lord. It was about a broken, compromised system that allowed him to operate for decades. El Chapo is in prison, but the secrets he carries are still locked away with him. If this story opened your eyes, subscribe to our channel. Because next week, we go even deeper. The truth is darker than fiction.